We are starting live. I'm not sure. So do we need them to go on to YouTube and look me up?
I'm posting it right now.
Okay, she's posting it. So we're just going to get started because it will be recorded. I was hoping there would be a link. We'll figure it out. That's the whole thing to it. We're going to get it figured out. But let's just go ahead and get started. So we're going to cover three main things today. Next week, we're going to do money management. Okay, so we're going to go through a lot of, from filling out a sales slip to what do you do with that when you're done, and then how to manage money and split your money, because that is an area that we all came into Mary Kay to make money, and managing it and handling it is so important. We want to make sure that we're not embezzling, right? And that means you're just spending it and you're not replacing the product and getting yourself set up for those basics. So we'll talk about that. We'll also talk about things to plan for expenses, because like with any great business, there's going to be necessary expenses, and you don't want to get caught off guard on that, and you can plan ahead. So I do suggest right now, open up a separate checking account and a savings account. You might also want to have an additional account that could be like a savings account, something that has where you just put money and you just don't mess with it. Why we say that is because you're going to have things with travel that you may want to have an account that can't be touched. And I don't know about you, but for me, if I see it in there and I think I can play with it a little bit, I will. And so I am actually looking into this year setting up some CDs that are 3 or 6 month rotation, and because there's always expenses of like seminar and career conference that come up, and they come up twice, so once each year, and they come out at the same time. So we got one in July and one in March, and then we have our fall retreat that is coming up, and it's still available to register. So girls, you can still register if you haven't yet. And this is happening next month, the 13th and 14th. We get back on the 15th. It's amazing. And even if the price is a little bit higher, I think it's around like $165 now, maybe. It is phenomenal. Okay, so if there's any way that you can attend the fall retreat, it's Friday evening with check-in and such, and then all of Saturday, and then we get back on Sunday. Okay, why I shared that is because planning for your education. Think of it as your master's. You're getting a master's degree in Mary Kay, and I know we have this great MK University, which has great training, but nothing beats face-to-face, eyeball-to-eyeball, heart-to-heart time with other like-minded women. It's empowering. That is why a weekly success meeting is so vital to the success of a consultant's business. And so I know that so much of it we do online and technical and stuff, but it's really important that you plan for those kinds of events, and that's what we've got. So let's first talk about the process of how to close a party, because getting ourselves in place for closing a party is essential for the success of your party. And there's 4 main things that you want to achieve at the close of an individual close. And first off, when I talk about individual close, this should not be foreign to the guests that are there. If you're following the flip chart, it mentions that at the end of our time together, we're going to meet individually, and you're going to have a chance for me to customize things for you. If you want to do some shopping, we're going to have that chance to do it at that time as well. Although there's no purchase required, you're going to have an opportunity. We're going to make notes and make sure that we write down all the things that you love today. And at that time, we can customize a different formula of foundation. We can schedule your second appointment with your glamour makeover, or maybe some other products that we didn't get a chance due to time to cover today. And it's also a great time for you to get your swag bag. So everyone's going to get, and I hold up a little swag bag. I got them. They're around. Everyone's going to get their swag bag at your individual consultation, and we're going to be meeting right over there. So I always point to where we're meeting. It's away from the table, okay? It could be in the kitchen. It could be over in the sitting area where there's a sitting Thank you. Everyone's going to get their little swag bag. So they don't know what's all in here, but it's cute, okay? And that was on another training of what goes in there. But literally, it's a couple chocolates, a business card. Their name is usually on the back of it. And so then they know, oh, I got my name's on it. So you would have it more turned like this, and you'd have their name either on a label or just written out cute. Okay. So they know they're coming to the individual close. At your individual close, you want to have like an envelope or a money bag, something to hold your sales receipts, a calculator or your cell phone if you use your cell phone for your calculator, your extra business cards, a pen, and a lookbook, along with it, a filled roll-up bag. So the filled roll-up bag is so that she can actually open it up, shop from it, as well as see what the different set specials. And if you're doing a set sheet, you'd also have your set sheet there as well, okay? When I'm sitting down with somebody and I've told them, I always pick the one who's the most excited to meet with first. She could be the one that was just kind of the sparkler. I don't meet with the hostess first. She's the last. So pick somebody that was chatty and that seems to just be excited, okay? And then I'll go ahead and start with you, Jennifer, and then after that, we'll just work counterclockwise. If there's someone that needs to leave right away, who needs to leave first? Okay, so sometimes I'll ask that permission, but this is why it's so critical to make sure that your party is in a short amount of time, because if you have to feel like you're racing through your close or your individual closes, you will miss out on sales. And I know this because it happens to me too. And it's really, especially when I book parties back to back, and this just happened the other day where I had this, but guess what? There was a party of 6. And I met with everyone except 2 of them. 2 of them had to leave. She was moving. I get to follow up with her. But I didn't get sales from those 2. They did write a wish list, and I believe that they will be shopping. But then I closed with the other 4, and they all purchased, and we booked. And then I got 2 sharing appointments, 3 sharing appointments actually. And one of them just signed up yesterday. So bam. Okay, that's kind of how the goal is, to make sure that you have that time. So I meet with them. The first thing is, did you have a good time? What was your favorite product you tried? And you're giving them a compliment of some sort. You know, it was great getting to know you, and your skin looks wonderful, or I love that. You know, you're just glowing. It looks healthy. Then you're asking for the profile. She hands it to you and you flip it over. You've done the table close. So if I need to back up, do you need to hear me do the table close of what I'm asking them to fill out on the back of the profile? Did I teach that already? Where I go through the sets.
You haven't.
Okay.
I don't think.
And I ask them questions to write down. Did we not do that yet, have we? Okay, so back up, rewind, go backwards, okay. At the end of your party, you're going to, the process that I go through is after they've put their lip gloss and mascara on, I'm asking for the referrals. So who do you know that is deserving of some pampering, and this is the best gift, that this is such a compliment. You're able to nominate 10 to 20 of your girlfriends, and I will give them a gift on behalf of me. Actually, it's on behalf of you, but it doesn't cost you anything, a $10 off coupon. And they're going to get an invitation to come to the studio, or for me to go to them for an in-home, and they're going to receive this amazing treatment. I only work from referrals. I do not go door to door. This is not a cold call type of business. And so isn't it great that you get to nominate some of your friends that maybe they couldn't come today? So pick fabulous friends, girls that are overworked and under-pampered, maybe somebody that is newly expected, or a newlywed, or somebody that is just a go-getter and just doesn't take a lot of time for herself. I'd love to treat her, and I will treat those names with respect, the utmost, and it'll be a lot of fun for them to get that treat. So I do the referrals. I say we're going to play one song, and then for every 3 names, I will give you a ticket. The first person to 10 gets double tickets. You could do for every name, but I usually say every 2 to 3 names, they're going to get a ticket. And the first person to 10 gets double tickets. And then anyone who fills the whole sheet. So if you're using the Fabulous sheet, which you'll find in our new consultant bootcamp training modular, I don't remember which one it's in, if it's 1 or 2. I'm going to have to make a list of where all my documents are. That's going to come to, so that I don't sound like I don't know what I'm talking about. So that modular is in there, that handout. But the Fabulous sheet is really fun, and girls can start filling it out. The new profile I absolutely love because they've given us lots of lines. So you literally can just have them flip their profile over and start filling in their names. But you say it's going to be a game, so don't start yet. And then you kind of do ready, set, go, and then you turn on some music a little bit louder, kind of upbeat music. And while that's happening, you're going around and cleaning up the table a little bit. So I'm picking up my washcloths because they've already wiped their fingers off from their lip gloss. They don't need their washcloths anymore. I will pick out the stuff from the tray and I will try it out. That's a time management thing, okay? And then I'm still leaving the mirrors and the trays though, because they want to look at themselves. You always leave that to the very end. Picking up a little bit, you do 1 or 2 songs, maybe about 5 minutes. You just kind of see the involvement. Sometimes I've had parties where nobody's writing anybody's names. I will still go around and pick up that. I sometimes have to answer a few questions. I'll say, and if you have some girlfriends, don't you have some girlfriends that are deserving of this? Go through your contact list, look through your Facebook friends. You can text them and send some selfies afterwards and say, hey girl, I was able to nominate 5 of my friends or 10 of my friends, and you're gonna have so much fun. Let me know what you think. Are you up for that? And if they respond negatively, or if you're concerned that they would be upset, get their permission first, and then I'll follow up with them. I don't have to call them right away because honestly, it's a wait list. I'm only scheduling those that I've met, just like I met her from the winners. And it's when I have openings that I then go to my leads, to my referrals from friends. Better yet, this could be the start of your guest list of who you want to invite for your second appointment. So sometimes just reassuring that to them will give them a little more confidence if you have someone that's apprehensive. It happens to us all, okay? And this is just a game that's an optional game. I'm not gonna make anyone feel bad or called out or whatever, but sometimes if they don't yet really trust you too well, maybe they're gonna be more apt to bringing people to you at their next appointment, and that's fine too, okay. But you don't wanna ever miss out on asking, because I've had some fabulous referrals and I've been so grateful that I asked their friends. And the fun friends have fun friends. They have more friends that would be thrilled to be given that gift. Okay. So then I have gone through the different set specials and I've talked about the roll-up bag. Okay. After I do the roll-up bag, I bring it back around to the heart of the company of the starter kit bag. So I tell them that if money was no object, which would be their items that they would most love to take home. And I love the analogy of walking into the closet, imagine walking into your closet and pulling out that dress or that special outfit, formal gown, that where you feel like $1 million. Could have been your wedding gown. But has everyone got an idea of what that outfit looks like? Okay. Go ahead and imagine now, okay, let's price it. How much was the dress? How much was the accessories? The nylons, the handbag, the jewelry. Now, how often do you wear it? Will you wear the same thing? Will you buy something new? And we kind of put into perspective how we will view buying a dress that's $200 or $300 and accessorize it. Sometimes the undergarments cost more than the dress if we got the dress on a killer deal. Okay, right? And so then we give them that and just say, how often do you wear your face? What's the first thing people see when they see you, right? It's your skin. So you're the only one that can take that time to really invest in keeping your skin looking amazing. And then how long the products last, letting them know that they can buy things individually, but this is tonight's specials only. So if you choose to take advantage of any of these set specials, this is what we have. You can choose to do different discounts off of the sets if you choose, but I think the company's done a really great job. I don't really want my new consultants to give any kind of discounts. Aside from you buy 4 sets, you get the roll-up bag for free. If they buy 3 sets, maybe you give 1 item at half price, 1 item if they're not getting the 4 sets, and they get the bag for free. So that is an option that you can do. I also heard recently, anyone that books and purchases any of the sets, they get the Glamour Brush set at half price. Now, that was something I saw from a sister director because she really wanted to romance that second appointment, that when I meet with you for your individual, or when we book your second appointment for color, for your custom color, now you could get this brush set and have it ready, and I'll teach you how to use your brushes. I liked that. I thought that was fun. So know that you're an independent business owner with the right to control your own business as far as what offers and specials, but you don't want to get in the habit of offering discounts off of your product, because then they're just going to expect it all the time. So our products are great value. So don't, any money that you discount, you're taking it out of your family's pocket. You're taking it out of your kids' fund and your travel, and you're taking it out, you're sabotaging your business. That's what you're doing. So don't do that. So 4 sets, full roll-up bag, the empty roll-up bag is yours for free. If they are buying multiple sets and like 5 or 6 sets, you know, you could, for each additional set, you could offer, you know, a half price item or something like that. But don't feel like you have to do a lot. Okay, then after you say that you can take card, cash, check, you could do, I always say the husband proof plan words, a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit there. Now it's kind of multed up. Only if you have products on hand and you have inventory would be the option that I would say you can make a payment plan. If you do not have inventory and you don't have products to even hand to them, I would not offer the payment plan. Half now, half later kind of thing. I wouldn't do that because you need that money to, one, place the order, but you also need your profit, right? Because you're building your inventory, or you're paying off that investment, or you need that for other expenses. So, but if you have inventory, I would say at the star level and above, then you have enough to where you can give it to her and then collect half plus the full tax. Because when you reorder that product, which is your number 1 goal after a party, is start an order with all the products you just sold so that you don't deplete, so that you have it then again for your next party or to replace, because it takes about a week to get your product in. So half plus tax, and then the difference amount, you want to have that paid. Typically, they're willing to pay that within their next pay period. So when do you get paid next? They could get paid in 3 or 4 days. They could get paid in another week or 2. You do not have the luxury, unless you're at a full inventory, to wait in anything more than a month. You don't gonna offer a month. All right. So I would say within a week or 2 that they, and I would get, do you want me to use this same card, or are you going to write me a check and post date it? That's fine too, but you want to have it in hand. I've also offered to where they could work part of that balance off by having a party, and they want to earn some free products at that party, but they have to hold that party within 2 weeks of that party. Okay, so say that her balance is $125, or her balance is $75, let's just say. Great. Would you like to pay that balance, or would you like to work it off and, you know, have earn it by having a party? And then while walking, how do I earn it? Do you want to know how you can earn it? Yeah. Okay, we're gonna have 5 friends there. We're gonna get a couple $100 in sales. We're gonna get a couple bookings. Like, you're gonna coach her on how she's going to earn that for free by just the basic hostess program. Okay, and that's really fun, because then she's working to earn that off. And if she doesn't earn it all, then she's paying you that difference. But at least it kind of gives an incentive to hold the party. Okay, so after you have done your close, then I tell them about the starter kit. And this is my favorite set, I say. You know, I believe that these products are amazing, but this opportunity can totally change your life. And if anything I shared with you in the party, when we did our purse game and I did the marketing, and I shared my why story during the party, then I would love to share a little bit more. And so if you're willing to meet me for coffee or do a quick chat over the phone, our team is in a challenge to share the heart of Mary Kay with 100 women. And so if you are interested in a free mineral eyeshadow or an item at half price, this is kind of what I offer, and they're happy because it's good. Then it's as simple as just watching a quick video and then doing a quick survey with me and my director, or if you've already done that enough multiple times. But most new consultants are working towards their power pearls, so you can share with them that you're in your training and you're becoming more confident in how to answer questions about business. And so whether you're interested or not in the business, if you're interested in, if you'd be willing to help me with training, then put a little heart on the back of the profile, you know, in the sections, just anywhere around there. And then we'll be able to get you that free mineral eyeshadow or item at half price, and we can schedule a coffee date for you just to learn a little bit more. And you can also let them know that we're doing a drawing for $100 in free product. I am going to be working on my tracking of who's shared the information and who's filled out a survey. My goal is in the next month or two, is to have a Google document that you will send to any guest that comes to events or that have sat down and done a sharing appointment, that you can send them a Google Doc and they can fill it out. You'll be able to then get credit for that. Or I might also do a document that you'll fill out as the consultant, documenting that, you know, they shared, that they heard about the business and they watched the video and that sort of thing. But some way that it won't be me having to write it down on a board. Okay, that's where we mess up completely, because I track my own stuff, but then when it's tracking everybody else, I think the Google Docs are going to be really good. And so in that, you generally will have girls that say, yeah, I'm willing to learn a little bit more. I'd like to learn a little bit more. So they put a little heart on their profile. Then, so you've asked them on the profile to write down their referrals of their friends. You've had them write down their wish list of which sets, if money was no object, which sets would they like. And then there'll be a spot that says, which products would you like to take home with you today? We've talked about the money, how they can pay for it. And you've also talked about how they could earn some free products as well. So those are the main things that you're going to have them be writing on the back of that profile. I have had at times where I've asked them to jot down the best date, whether it's a weeknight or a weekend, of when would be the best time for us to do our second appointment for their color. And they can just jot it on there. So that could be one of your questions as well. I just have them fill it out in any of the area that is on the back side. I'm still getting familiar with the new profile, but I used to say you can write it in that section that says for consultant use only. By doing some of that at the table, it helps you as a consultant to then kind of know what the next step is. There is a sheet that's called Tell Us What You Think. And this is something that I'm considering to bring back into like meetings. But I do know some girls will bring that into their party as well, and they'll have it fill out. And that would mean that you have 2 things that they fill out. But if you'd like, it could be an easier way at time to find out what their interest level is, because it has that from a scale of 1 to 10, which I don't like 1 to 10. That's just me. I'd rather go 1 to 5. But regardless, it asks, hey, you want to have another appointment with friends, one-on-one, color, added things. So it's kind of a neat sheet that could be great for you to use if you haven't been in the habit of asking those closing questions at the end. And I know that most of the girls that are going to be watching this broadcast are brand new consultants, but I will really want you to be considering too, for those that have been using it, maybe they're just out of the habit of asking those questions. Okay, any questions on that end of it so far? All right, so then when you meet one-on-one, you ask them if they had a good time. You ask for the profile. You flip it over and you look. Great. So I see here that you, if money was no object, you know, or what do you love that you can't live without? You know, what are the products that you just can't live without? And I see here that you put the roll-up bag with these 4 sets. Do you want to go ahead and get started with that today? Okay, do you want to go ahead and get started with that today? You then unlock eye contact, look down at your sales ticket, and just wait. The first person who talks loses. Which means if you and you say something and you break that silence, the one who talks next takes home the most products. Okay, so don't be the first one to talk. Let her say, well, I think, yeah, I really want to get all those, but I think tonight I'm going to go ahead and just start with the basic, and you listen to her. Okay, great. That's great. Oh, you're going to love that, you know, and you're starting to write. And then after she's kind of been doing this, and say, okay, now I see here that you were looking for a product that helped with this. We didn't try it, but the deep wrinkle filler would be something that would benefit, you know, that you benefit by. If you haven't looked at your profiles, your skincare profiles, you open it up, you're going to see that there's recommendations there. So give those recommendations. If she goes, oh yeah, I want that, just say, now we also did eye makeup remover, we did this. You can purchase things a la carte. You don't have to just get the sets. Is there any a la carte items you'd like that you're needing, that you're low on? Again, you're looking down, you're waiting. And she's just answering. After she has, I typically just say, great, so let me review what we have. And does this work for you? Because sometimes you don't want them to be like, oh, that's more than what I wanted to do. Like, I give them every permission to edit it. Okay, let me go ahead. Do you want me to add these up as we are right here? You know, you're just one set away from getting a free roll up or whatever. If you were to pick one more set, you know, what would it be? But it's just more to kind of process, because you're the one that's helping her see where she's at. You don't want her to miss out on something. Okay. And then, you know, you adding it up. Okay, how did you want to take care of that? And then you're doing the payment, you know, you're getting the payment, you're running the card. For new consultants, you do not have to have Swiper to get ProPay. You do have to have a smartphone or a tablet that you can get the free app. And then once you have the ProPay set up, which it is a fee, there's an annual fee. I believe it's around $40, $45. And they take all credit cards. So you can do American Express, Discover, they can do all that. You're going to have it linked up with a checking account. That's why one of the first things we have you do is open up a separate checking account. So you don't want that commingling with your home money. Okay, you want to keep it separate. It's going to make taxes way easier because you'll have that cash flow, and you want to make sure that you're working from just business in that account. So she pays you, the check goes to you, you make checks payable to you, the beauty consultant, okay? And then, or do the credit card, and now you want to book that second appointment, and then you want to schedule the sharing appointment. Whether she put a heart or not, just say one last thing. You know, you were so fun today, and I love that you enjoyed so much of the product. I know that you didn't put a little heart here, but maybe I didn't explain it well enough. Would you be willing to help me in the sharing of the information? Would you help us with our goal of sharing the love with 100? By just watching a quick video, which I can text it to you, and doing a survey that doesn't take very long about your opinion of the opportunity. It would get your name in a drawing for a $100 Mary Kay shopping spree, and you get one eyeshadow, or, you know, I know you really wanted that eye makeup remover. I could give that to you at half price, just for learning a little bit more about how this business works. Even if it's not for you, I love having talent scouts that, you know, maybe you know someone, or maybe someday it could be. And most girls are like, oh yeah, I can do that. You know, but they don't always know. And if they say, oh, well, I don't know that I would ever be interested in the business, say, well, that's okay. Just for learning, you're going to get this little gift from me. If not, That's okay too if they say that, but I don't say, if you're not okay with it, it's fine. Like I don't talk myself back. I'm confident. I think it's nice to just have women's opinions, okay? Because 1 out of 5 say yes to the opportunity, and we don't know when that one is going to be there. We don't know. And are you willing to get the 4 no's to then be in a position where you could change a woman's life? And it's just so nice to be able to ask them right at the party, right? Okay. And so then you booked her for that second appointment too. You know, hey, did you want to, let's do color. Did you want to do color at your next appointment? Oh, actually, I'd like to do the microderm. Okay, great. Let's set that up. Are you thinking weeknight, weekend? Would you like to come back to the studio at one of our guest events? Or would you like to do an individual appointment? I can come to you. Do in-homes as much as you can, because going to their location, especially for a second appointment, they already know you, you trust them, they like you, you like them. And I love seeing people's homes. It's just fun. And that's where I built all my business, was around the kitchen table. Okay. Now with the studio, it's an option, but it's not the main way. You know, like yeah. So book them for that second appointment, and then once you book them, say, now, is there any reason why you wouldn't want to have a few girlfriends join you? Because it's just as easy to treat one person as it is a group of 3 to 4. And if you had a few friends join you, up to 5, so 6 total, you could be earning 100 to 200 in free product. You know, if you've got that 100 for free or that 200 for free when you party with me, you then pull out what we call that hostess packet, which is going to be the explanation of their hostess credit. And I wonder if I have hostess packets here. I know me and Glennie's just made up a whole bunch of the little packets, but I don't know if they're in there. I'll have to bring them next week. I think I even mentioned before that I was going to have to bring them. So it's just literally some sales slips, a couple catalogs, like a lookbook or 2, outside order forms, or just sales tickets. So again, you've got the sales tickets. And then you want to have the party plan of how she's going to earn her free product. I believe they might come with some in the new starter kit, but if not, Pink Printing has some great little postcards or a sheet. You can buy a whole little kit from Pink Printing. I'll show them to you next week, okay? And the main thing is coach her through putting the list together. You don't have to have a little fancy sheet, but I believe in the boot camp there is some examples of the little worksheet for the hostess so that she has something to kind of go off of and schedule. Okay, so that's the individual close. Then after you've done that with everyone, then you go pull the product. If you had someone else there that can help, like the hostess or somebody, you could have your products there, and then she could be going through it. But I just typically, unless somebody has to like leave right now, then I'll try to pull it really fast, but you don't want to be running in and out of your car. So at the studio, you know, you could bring some things in briefly, but you don't keep it, you know, like I've got my one bag because I pull a couple things out with my eyeshadows, bring them into her home and then pull it out. So that's why you want to have the things that you're carrying your product with in your car. You eventually want to not have boxes and big tubs, because especially with the rain and the weather, you want to make sure it does close well. With plastic is great, but that's kind of more your in-home inventory, I would say, than things that you're going to take with you. You know, have something that's maybe a rollie, because you don't want to hurt yourself, and you don't want to have too much. So like I roll my stuff in because I have the bags for Mary Kay. You don't have to get the bags from Mary Kay, and again, or at least put it in your back seat so you can sit in the back seat, turn your dome light on, close the door away from the elements, and then sit back there, turn the car on even, get it nice and warm and cozy, and pull your orders in the back seat. I did that a lot too. So I'm not saying you have to get those expensive rolly bags, but I would not tote into her house the big tubs, because it's going to get, they're not huge tubs, but you know what I'm saying, okay? Just keep them in your car and you can go in and out. And now that it's not as hot, things are cooling off, it's fine to keep things in the car. They're Once it gets real freezing and such, you'll want to bring them inside. You don't want them to go freezing. Okay, that was just a little extra. So let's talk about organization really quick. And a couple things to get organized is with your goals, write down each individual goal, put pictures up, paste them all around to remind you. Now, if you've never done a goal poster or a vision board or anything that had to do with goals, it is documented and talked about all the time for entrepreneurs and the top of the top people in the industry of any sort of company. Visualization is huge, and seeing it, because whatever your subconscious is thinking, it's going to get more of and move towards. So whatever you're telling yourself, it's going to prove it. So very, very important. Plan your work and work your plan, Mary Kay always said. What do you want to make? 250 a week? 50 a day? You want to do 2 shows? Charles Schwab's story, 6 most important things. Show them how to use or know that you need to know that using 6 most important things to do every day is so, so important. And this is 6 most important things to do for your business. You can have a 6 most important things to do for yourself, for your just home, kids, work, exercise, things like that. But there's evidence that shows that having a most important things to do list will give you self-satisfaction, and to be able to check things off can be really empowering. It feels good. Now, don't worry if you don't get all 6 done. Maybe you start with just the 3 most important things to do. I would say the 3 most important things to do every day as a brand new consultant is learn something new in your business every day. That could be a product. That could be a skill. Listen to something for your Mary Kay every day, if at all possible. We have motivational trainings. Mary Kay has the MK University. There's a fantastic daily training motivation that's called $1 Million Message, that it's 6 days a week, and it's rotating with top directors. It's actually the daughters of national sales directors, and one of the callers is Kristen Sharp, who's now a national, because she was on the call first as a director, and then she became a national. So she still is part of that call. That number is found on My Unit app, and it's under, I want to say it's under, let's just find out. Wild Dreamers.
Files, I think.
Is it under files?
I think it's the last
Okay.
one under files.
So when you go into it and you go down to the bottom, I don't see
I just
files.
looked at it today.
Resources? No.
Maybe I saw governments on Facebook before
Okay.
I went to the app.
Special, let's go up here. It might be under what's hot. No. Okay, here it is. So it's under send an invite. Okay, it says $1 Million Message, and you'll see a picture like this of the $1 Million Messengers. Okay, these are the pictures of the directors in the national. So on this, the number is 641-715-3900, extension 44336 pound. So this is something that is great to listen to while you're getting ready in the morning, when you're taking your shower, or you're putting your makeup on. You will find that you're going to want to listen to it and take notes even. But they're all high energy, amazing women. They've been doing this call for years. And one of my best friends, Amber Guillen, she's Terrific Tuesday. They're just each such amazing women. Okay, so that is a great way to do something motivational for yourself. That I would say is one of the first things. The second thing that I would put on my most important things to do is getting a new appointment, making those phone calls. So I would say 10 calls a day. 10 calls a day is the ideal. And we taught on the 21-day challenge, and that is rotating. So you've got 10 people to call each day. And then on day 3, is it day 4? Day 3, day 4, you're putting the people from day 1. So you really just need to have a list of 30 and put them into the 21-day system. It is amazing. So if you aren't sure, like what's a 21-day, we do have the Book It resource under What's Next on the New Consultant Bootcamp page for new consultants in the MyUnit app. And then you can go on and watch a video actually of our friends that talk about it. So I think you can, I have the links right now. It's going on right now with our boot camp, and I might be able to post those links on our unit Facebook page files, or maybe I wonder if I can put those links in our unit app, my unit app. You know what I'm saying? Like that. Okay, so we'll be able to give you more training on that later, but I just wanted to say that getting that as an organizational, so that you're tracking who have you called and what have you said, and their scripts and everything. So it's wonderful. And the third thing is generating new leads. So what we mean is, yeah, if you've got a big list of contacts, then you're just going to be calling through that. That's great. Then you're going to eventually be having leads that come into that, whether they're referrals or whether there's someone you meet. We did a whole training on the beauty hunt and different ways to lead generate, facial boxes, things like that. So having new contacts and talking to new people is great, because you don't want to be feeling this idea of that I'm just working with the same names and I'm not getting results. So so getting new bookings and getting new leads and doing something motivational, learning something in your business every day is what I consider the top 3. And I do think that, especially for new consultants and those that are moving forward, being in contact with your director every day. You could box me, you can text me, just let me know what you're doing. Let me celebrate with you. If you're having an off day, you know, let's talk about it. Let's find a win, because what I know about winning is with every win, it builds your confidence. Fear can just kind of engulf you and shut you down. But I'm going to tell you, the only thing that shuts down fear is action. And so much of this business is action, doing something, and then celebrating the win. Little goals. I called into Mary Kay the other day, and I was put on hold. And I love it when I'm put on hold, because I get to hear her positive messages. So if you ever want to do that and listen to some amazing, call Mary Kay customer service and go into one of the lines that are going to be like, put you on hold, and then you can listen to it. I don't know. I think there's audios that are available also on our website, on our app, and that you're able to get those going. So let's see. Okay, so 6 most important things is going to help you. Get help in your home. Get a maid. Everyone has the same 24, but when you're able to free up some of the things that take time away from your activity, you can delegate some of those things. And there is a part of knowing that, yeah, you can't just ignore those things. They have to get done by somebody. But how cool is it to be able to go hold a party instead and take a portion of the profits to pay for a housekeeper a couple times a month? It doesn't cost that much to have an in-home housekeeper. And if you can pay one of your kids as a commission, as a, hey, you do this and I'll pay you, you know, that can work. We did that for years. And we still do some of that, but the girls don't. They just, yeah. So get excited about asking yourself and looking at ways you can leverage your time. Decide how many hours per day you're going to spend on your work. Then each day plan. Okay. For those that are looking to do this as more of a full time, spend at least 4 hours on your business minimum, and stick to it daily, which just means that's an hour's worth of phone calls. You could do more than that. I had to do pockets. So 30 minutes here, 15 minutes here, another 30 minutes here. I found that I didn't have enough leads to call for an hour. So maybe you're just making 15 minutes twice a day on phone calls, and that's going to get your 10 calls in. So there's that. And then another hour on maybe going out and meeting people or connecting, or you're doing something that's networking kind of thing. And there's a lot of ways we can teach on that another time, but honestly, in and amount your day, there's a lot of people around. And there's also social groups and things like that that you can connect with. In women's groups like MOPS, Mothers of Preschoolers, was a big way that I met a lot of moms and I met a lot of people in my social, and I offered them facials that way too. So that was always a lot of fun. And then we will talk more on that with that money management. We'll talk about systems and organization for those things as well. But getting 3-ring binders are going to be lifesavers for you. And I got a bunch of these sparkly fun ones, and this like heart one with stripes and stuff. I just got a bunch of these at Office Max. And so just know that Mary Kay has an exclusive discount also with Home Depot, Office Max, and FedEx, Kinko's, or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So there's like codes that you can do, and you can register. So make sure you get on their rewards program codes and stuff that Mary Kay offers through exclusively. And you can go on to Mary Kay In Touch under MK Connections, I believe it is, and you can find those exclusive card numbers that we use for those places. Okay. And you can just print it out. It's like a little card that you can just, the number, it's like an ID number. All right. Just going through some of the little notes. Okay, the last thing that I wanted to talk about, and again, I will talk more on organizational things, I promise. But I just figured I'm going to do that next time since I don't have the sheets here. Is we want to talk about the 5 basic needs. And this is something that's really empowering as you're working with different people, because wouldn't you agree that we all communicate differently? And what is important to one person could be totally different from somebody else. So here's the neat thing. This is a accumulation of a book that's called Pursuit of Happiness by Dr. Baxter. It's a Dr. Baxter's training on the Berkman Test of Needs. Dr. Henry Cloud's teachings on how people grow, and Stacy James, National Sales Director, her personal observations. In other words, she said, this is my mess. Okay, this is her notes on the 5 basic needs. This is so good. The main point is your basic need is God-given. It is threaded into your DNA. When your need is being met, it frees you up to pursue your greatest level of success. When your need is not being met, it causes you to feel as if you are working against a resistance, like swimming against the tide. You ultimately know your basic need when asked what would make you cry if you had to live without it. Hard to breathe with you thinking about it. Feel that you are suffocated when you are not filling your need. So she said, I had 5 different directors, one for each need, get up and talk about why they know their need is their need and give evidence to the crowd. They talked about how they feel and perform when their need is being met and how they feel and perform when it is not. Your need has nothing to do with the height of your success. Meaning, most people think that high achievers are power and achievement. The need is not your results. It is what you need so that you are fueled to live in your victorious life. Okay? So I'm going to go through the 5 different needs. I'm not going to read through more of her commentary, but here it is real in a nutshell. Let me just do this really fast. Okay. Okay. The first one is power and achievement. The need to conquer. Okay. Power and achievement is powered by ambitious and an ambitious heart. Achievement is an urgent calling. Highly competitive spirit, not always in competition with others, but competitive in the need to excel. Strives to be the best. That can be number one, or it can be the best of yourself. What you want to do. Loves to break records because of the win factor. Loves the spotlight, appreciation, admiration, and respect. Values relationships that challenge her. If her leadership does not challenge her, she may leave. Has great clarity through the process, clears the path with her determination, not weighted down by incidentals, takes the lead without thinking. She's energized by the win, can become rigid in her leadership or expectations of others, doesn't usually like messy emotions or complicated situations, and can find herself disconnecting and detached too easily. That's the power and achievement person. The second one is love and connecting, love and belonging, the need to influence. She's empowered by the influence of affecting other person's heart and actions, has a dedicated interest in how others think, respond, and operate, desires to be immersed in the middle of great heartfelt communication, is physically affectionate, easily demonstrates love, requires physical touch and comforts others with physical connection, values relationship that stimulates her head, heart, and soul. Progress is made through elevating others' beliefs and understanding, makes friends easily. She's energized by the ability of influence and energized by making a difference. Can become too absorbed and sensitive to the needs of others. Oversensitivity can complicate the clarity necessary to reach the goal quickly and finds it difficult to detach from unhealthy people or situations. That is the love and belonging person. The next one is freedom and choice, the need for freedom. Okay, this person's empowered by an open agenda, does not respond favorably to rigid rules or strict conformity, has an innate desire to create her own way, easily strays from the planned venue, loves to soar in a positive direction, desires to control her decisions, her direction, and her schedule. Values mature relationships. She values mature relationships that don't require constant attention. If her leadership is too regulated or taught in an absolute manner, she will become highly frustrated. Loves to express herself through her own creative design. Energized by options. Can be perceived as being rebellious or disrespectful. Is negatively challenged by a specific strategy, structure, or tracking sheet. Does not like accountability. Operates out of the need to be spontaneous versus tied down with too many appointments or a long-term plan. Okay, there's another one now. Okay, now you might find yourself in a couple of these spots, but what you have to ask is when you start removing the others, just say, am I more this or am I more that? If I didn't do this, did I need this? Like, you'll find that there's going to be one that you're a lot more drawn to. Okay, and they actually have, I think you can take like a test of the 5. It's called the 5 basic needs, I believe. Don't quote me on that. It might be called something different. So then the next one is safety and security. Safety and security, the need for stability. Empowered by a stable environment, is not innately impulsive, needs to think things through. If her leadership is too spontaneous or not planned out, she becomes anxious. Values, trust, and continuity, thank you, in relationships. Feels most confident and comfortable when there is a known plan. motivated by the ability to control and create her own future, feels better to save money than to spend it. That's not me. Okay, sorry. Seeks peace, energized by a savings account is what energizes her. Can be cautious, can be too cautious, has to think through invitations or decisions with the need to feel comfortable about the rollout. Decisions are affected by physical safety, not usually spontaneous. Okay, the next one is fun and pleasure, need for adventure. The fun and pleasure person is empowered by a party, is motivated by the ability to have fun, conversation, and laughter, does not respond favorably to serious, dull, boardroom conversations, is drawn to music, to the music, moved deeply by music, inspired by the opportunity to experience the uncommon, new venues, new adventures, loves vacations for the experience, not necessarily for the rest, willing to work hard in order to have fun options. If her leadership is too demanding on her time, she will feel resentful. You have to be at all special events or you are not a good director or team player. Example, that's an example, okay? She's gonna feel like, what? Yeah, if you tell her she has to be at all special events or you are not a good director or team player. Okay. If her leadership is too demanding on her time, she will feel resentful. There we go. Energized by laughter. It has either got to be fun or she will make it fun. Is not motivated by workshops or long training sessions unless they are entertaining. Schedules several vacations, puts a lot into her schedule that is not interpreted as necessary or even considered goofing off to a need to conquer person. All right, so which are you? Again, power and achievement, love and connecting, love and belonging, freedom and choice, safety and security, or fun and pleasure. As your director, I would love to know which one you would say you are. This then helps me as I work through and coach to just kind of know what drives you. It will also help you to work out of your strengths and realize that there's different needs that we all have. And you want to make sure when you're communicating to others that you're sensitive to what their need could be as well. This helps with working with the team as well. All right, any guesses on what you think I am? I will just tell you, because I know you can't talk back. Which one do you girls think I am? Do you have any idea?
I see some 1 and some 5.
So my number 1 is fun and pleasure. Yep. It's not just because you're an I, because you can be an I personality and be all about the freedom and choice and like you can be an I in those, but so it's kind of fun when we talk about the different need. But if you take away everything else, I will be wanting to have fun before I want to achieve a goal.
Sure.
I mean, like I want to achieve a goal, but the power and achievement, usually the power and achievements are the all D personality. I'm just going to say, like, not to label that, but they are the ones that move really quickly. They're the Gloria Mayfield Banks, Leisha Lee-Gant, the ones that achieve it fast and now. I've never been a fast and now because I got to have a fun time along the way, right? Mm-hmm. And I will make it fun. I will back off, and there's just different things, and you have to know what your strengths and your weaknesses are. And there's benefits to all of these, but really knowing what your basic need is, that's going to help you to know what drives you. You cannot compare yourself. If you're not a power and achievement person, you cannot compare yourself to her because you will not be staying true because she's driven by something totally different. And one thing that I will just say is I have sometimes a difficult time. I've realized over the time, it's not a difficult time, but I've had this awareness. I used to go to these conferences and I would like, oh, I'm going to do it the way she does it. And what's happened is if you are in that comparison mode of, well, I guess I'm doing it the wrong way and I got to do it this way. No, because you have to do it in a way that's going to be your love language or your basic need. And a lot of times, the ones that are the ones up front sometimes are the power and achievement girls, the ones that have done it really fast and we want to hear how to do it. And then you're trying to shift into being in that mode and it's not gonna work. So you need to learn some little things from them. I'm not saying you can't learn from a power and achievement, but please don't beat yourself up when they go Mach 10 and you're feeling like a snail, because you can really sabotage yourself and you can cut yourself up in a way and beat yourself down in a way that you won't be having fun. I have to keep having fun. If I start beating myself up, no one wants to be around me and I'm sabotaging myself. Mm-hmm. So especially for the love and belonging, get excited about the girlfriend time. I think this business really does bless every person's needs. And you want to just know that that's a gift that you have in your DNA. Like she says, it's just a fun thing to understand. So I hope that was helpful today. We will again dive more into systems and money management next week. We will be all up and ready to go on our computer early, so that we'll start right on time. Thank you for your grace on that and patience, and I will look forward to our meeting next week. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.